AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not.
I think that Jalen Brunson is the clear-cut most important player on the New York Knicks right now, right? We look like a completely different team once OG steps on the floor. Coming back from injury, we look like a completely different team when we traded for him, right? Like night and day as soon as he walked through the door. But the head of the snake, right? Shout out to our brother AllBall too. Always talks about Joker is great. Like Joker is amazing. But the head of that snake is Jamal Murray. And if Jamal Murray goes down, if Jamal Murray is not there, then it creates more. It's a difficult task for Joker to win ball games without the head of his snake. So is OG important? 1000%. But the fact that we've been able to stay relevant, stay at the top of the Eastern Conference, not make our way into the play-in, and we lost Randall and OG, right? We lost Randall and OG. Oh, I'm sorry.
We lost Randall and OG.
We lost Randall and OG. And we was, I'm sorry. I got to laugh at that shit. Yuck. What up, Yuck? Yuck. My brother. Yeah, we lost Randall and OG, right? And we were still able to stay 1 through 5, right? So that means the head of the snake was still able to navigate us through the swamp and through some tough times, right? He was able to navigate, stay afloat. Now we got OG back in the fold. Soon, I see our guy working out. Every time I turn around, I see a new video of Julius in some sweats putting shots up, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, to answer your question, it's a great conversation, and I can't wait for when we get to that point, we'll have it. But I think going forward, unless a Giannis, unless a Luka, unless a Kevin Durant, a LeBron, I'm talking about the superstar level players, unless they walk through them garden doors, Jalen Brunson will continue to be the most important player on the New York Knicks.
That's tough because it's such a great. We are at the greatest problem we've had in
years.
This is the greatest problem to have.
Yeah.
Like, and people take it as hyperbole, whatever, but we have to have this conversation because if we're on to greatness, these are the kind of conversations we're gonna have to entertain ourselves. At a certain point, it's gonna be like the Patriots won again, the Yankees won again, the Lakers won again. Mm-hmm. When you're in the middle of that, trying to maintain, I think, and I'm getting ahead of myself because we have to get there first. Mm-hmm. But in order to get there, you have to do the same thing that you did to get there. I believe I have not achieved Super Bowl status and all this other stuff, but I think there's this competitiveness that comes out like, yo, who is better? The one that's the thing that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are missing. And I thought RJ Barrett and Randall may have been missing that too, or Randall was just punking them. I'm the alpha around here. Then Brunson came around. It's like, oh no, that's how you do things. Okay, I'm going to drop the sword. This is your team, bro. I ain't got nothing to say about this.
But Fabe, let me jump in right here. There's a difference between being the most valuable player, who is Jalen Brunson, and the most important player, who might be OG Anunoby. Right? There's a distinct, in my opinion, I think that there's a distinct difference between being most valuable and being most important. And
I think there was a conversation with UD saying Chris Bosh was the most important, but LeBron was the MVP. But Chris Bosh is the most important player on the Miami Heat run.
1000%, because you can't duplicate what Chris Bosh did for the Miami Heat on that ball club, right? Not saying that you can duplicate LeBron James, but you do have a counterpart in Dwayne Wade, who at the time when he walked through the door, Dwayne Wade was still a top 5, top 8 player in the NBA, right or wrong. In 2010, I don't think top 5, top 8 player in the NBA.
Easily.
Right.
Healthy, top 3 maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
LeBron
being
most important versus
right, LeBron being the most valuable player on the team, I think that's unanimous. I think he walks through the door as the value that he's going to bring to this team supersedes anything that anybody else is going to do. But with Chris, he was so important on what they did over there. UD couldn't do what Chris Bosh did, right? Nobody else on the floor could do what Bosh did. I think the same thing kind of goes for Brunson and OG. Brunson, most valuable player, right? The value that he brings to this team is unmatched. But in terms of what OG does, I don't think anybody else can duplicate what he does. Josh Hart is excellent player. I don't think he defends like OG. He doesn't have a natural shot like OG, right? Like it's Josh is amazing. He's been great for us. But OG being the most important guy is because all the unique factors about who he is as a basketball player can't be matched by anybody on our team. Nobody is as good of an on-ball defender as him. You know, those corner threes, he's great at. Being able to cut to the basket, moving without the basketball. I don't think we have a lot of guys on our team that are elite at moving without the basketball. He is an elite player moving without the basketball, always getting to the rim without the ball, and as soon as he gets in the paint, it's delivered, and all he's doing is rising up, right? Like all of those unique factors about him, low maintenance, comes to play every night. Like some guys, you got to get certain guys up to play. OG is going to show up against the Utah Jazz, or he's going to show up against the Boston Celtics, whoever. It don't matter. You know, that's important stuff. So to me, there's a distinct difference between being most valuable and being most important.
I totally disagree. I think if you're the most valuable thing, that word is just, I don't know why it's getting misinterpreted over it. Most valuable person in your life is the most important. That most valuable. My babies, my kids. You know, my wife is up there because she got to take care of them babies when she, you know, we both work, but like most valuable. They're gonna be like, they're getting older. The value of their education, that all this stuff is valuable. I like my son's teacher right now. I talk to him anytime I get the chance. I thank him because I've seen other teachers, and I ain't gonna single anybody out. But boy, oh boy, is he valuable in my son's life this year. How high does he rank in is he the most valuable player in my son's life? I don't know. It gotta be mom and dad first, but Mr. Will's up there. He's third. So I think value has importance just by definition. It's in the definition. It's by design. Like you need to be this important, to be this valuable. And even with I just disagree with Bosh being the most important player in Miami. I think it was great for him to express admiration for Chris Bosh like that. Like he needs his shine. He needs to be talked about like this. That's what the thing about being wrong is. It's okay to be wrong about something like that. Udonis has him, even if he's wrong. I'm willing to stand on this because it means we're going to talk about Chris Bosh for 24 hours, hopefully, or maybe longer. Right. I think that's the end game to him even making that statement, as opposed to right now, hey, who's more important, you know, Brunson or OG Anunoby? Somebody's going to counter and say, you better win first, right? But my thing is, you know, we have to talk for a living. So in that conversation, it doesn't have the same consequence or result as we need to shout out Chris Bosh and make an important piece for a 4-year run that we went to 4 straight finals. We're trying to highlight how this turnaround with the Knicks has her so hopeful and why, and what piece really provided the kick. Brunson
I just had a conversation with some of my guys and asked a really, really great question, something to think about, you know, comments if y'all want to throw some players in there. I thought this was a great question. Who is the best like the best role player in the NBA today?
Is it Derek White?
He came up. He came up. Not unanimously, but I think as a group, we came up with Aaron Gordon. Now, he's on the list. You may disagree, but I think the two guys that we just named are absolutely on that list. Derek White, Aaron Gordon. But there are a few other guys.
Yeah.
There's a few other guys that are like stars in their roles. Aaron Gordon's one. Derek White is one. I think OG Anunoby and Josh Hart belong in the conversation.
Oh, I disagree with that.
I just think that they belong in the conversation.
No, I think he is like, this isn't like, again, I keep comparing football, Thibodeau style to football. And like Brunson he's sort of the quarterback. He is a quarterback that just, he can produce for you. And, you know, the Giants never had a Jeff Hostetler or whatever it was, but you got like can't even say Tom Brady, but not even Eli Manning, just a great quarterback who's poised for the moment is Brunson. And he's great. He brought the leadership and everything, the culture. But what OG's doing is flat out what we've seen out of Lawrence Taylor, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, just a disruptive defender. That, and when you say Ed Reed and Polamalu, you got a defender who can score. You got guys you better not throw in their direction. You better not play with them because they're gonna get the ball and they're gonna cause
it right back to the crib.
And it's gonna be a 4 instead of it's like a 14-point swing because you could have scored a touchdown, but it took the interception. And I scored 7. Now what? Now you're down by 2 scores. Same thing with the Knicks. How he harassed, how OG Anunoby harassed them on the defensive end is just different. Like, for me in basketball, the line of scrimmage is kind of constantly moving, and everything is determined by that foul line. It's the free throw line that nobody ever talks about, really, because it's boring to just come to a conclusion in basketball and sports. You can't just come to a conclusion. It's like I don't want to bring that up, but it's like religious.
Yeah, but it's not. I understand what you're saying.
But with OG, it's like you got a guy who's gonna have the reputation along with real true defense to go guard one-on-one and everywhere. So therefore, they're gonna allow him a lot on a defensive end. We haven't seen that in a lot of some years. Tyson Chandler, Jason Kidd when he was here, but he was older. We haven't seen the prime of somebody being able to just do what they want to do defensively. Kawhi Leonard style stuff. That changes everything. And on defense, to equalize Jason Tatum, to equalize Giannis, to equalize Embiid, equalize your little Jimmy Butler over there, Miami Heat. Boy, oh boy, the more I think about it, the less fear I have of the Heat with that guy out there.
Yeah.
Just total, I dare you, Jimmy, to do something, to say something. He's going to be very quiet. I don't care if you guys are turning up all of a sudden. I see the little YouTube. I can't wait to watch the next video. OG Anunoby, the fact that he makes me feel that confident, that's some LT Lawrence Taylor, the straight head, the NASCAR front line for the Giants. That's how I feel like, oh yeah, watch this. Tom Brady came out, 17 points, huh? And when he scored like 14. That's how confident we feel. I feel about OG Anunoby.
I'm very confident.
Brunson brought me up. He brought me up. Over here, we rooted for him, going crazy on Becky Hammond, Hey Girl, and Candace Parker. I ain't forget about you. You keep not watching Knicks games and commenting, right? Brunson got us going crazy, but OG got me feeling like, I dare one of you mother lovers. I dare one of you mother lovers to come to the Garden and think it's sweet, because it's over. We got a lockdown guy, Flea. Lockdown.
Fully healthy, bro. Any one of the 29. Come on into the Garden. Let's rock and roll. Any one of the other 29. I'm cool. I've never felt this confident about a Knicks team in a very, very long time. I don't want to talk about the last time I did, but it's been a while. When we are fully healthy, stepping on that floor, we are not the most talented team. And I'm going to go back to what I said a couple weeks ago. We are not the most talented team, but we are going to play harder than any team in the NBA. And with the mix of the talent that we do have, like you said, yeah, Miami, come on.
AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not.